Shalom, shalom. I want to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. My name is Brother Napak for the Camp Prophets of Babylon, down here in Tampa Bay, Florida. And I want to give double honors to elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, peace and blessings to the hopeful, elect, and the ones listening in. And I want to get into a quick lesson. I want to title this lesson, Give Not Over Thy Mind to Heaviness. All right? It's just going off the precept of, Ecclesiasticus 30 and 21. But before I start, I just want to elaborate off that a little bit, man. All right? Because, certain brothers go through certain things, catch certain hell. All right? And you may put yourself in a downed out spirit or have a down countenance and giving your mind over to heaviness, and you just suffering in that, in that time period already from the afflictions in hell, but you're also adding on to it with the mindset that you have through it. All right. Now, you got to be able to see it, as, this is the reality of things, whatever you may be going through or whatever hell you may catch in. But you may also, you have to also look at the positivity through it. All right. Being that the Lord will always defend his men. All right. The Lord will always, build you back up. And I'm going to get a quick scripture on that as well after I bring this out, though. This is Sirach 30 and verse 21. It says, Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thy own counsel. All right. So give not your mind to heaviness. All right. Now, you may already be going through certain things, but when you sit there and you give your mind over to heaviness, to depressed thoughts, saddened thoughts, it only makes it worse, man. All right. You always got to look at the brighter side, that the Lord is still dealing with you. That the Lord, will defend his men. All right. And you must believe that you're the Lord's men. All right. You must have faith in that. Don't doubt it, man. All right. Because a lot of brothers, as I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself as well. I know I dealt with it before. Is that doubt spirit, man. All right. Where, at one point in time in this walk, where you doubted yourself, whether you really, you didn't know if you was really, of that, of the ministry, or a prophet of the Lord, or a man of the Lord. You didn't understand your worth. All right. And that right there alone would, mess up your mind, man. All right. Because as you will be, you may fall off in certain areas. You allow those fall offs to determine your future. Because of those certain errors you made, you feel like the Lord may not deal with you anymore. All right. And that's giving your mind to heaviness. That's, condemning yourself and afflicting yourself in your own counsel. All right. Scripture says a just man falls several times, but he getteth back up again. All right. So we all gonna fall short. We're not perfect. So the Lord knows that, and the Lord understands that. But at least we're trying. We have to try, man. Okay. And you got to get back up again and again and again, man. All right. Ultimately, so we can be saved. All right. But you could continue to afflict yourself in your own counsel, bring yourself down when you're already down. It doesn't make anything any better. It ultimately will destroy you in this truth, man. All right. That's how a lot of guys end up falling out. All right. Because they deal with certain things and they start condemning themselves and they start afflicting themselves in their own counsel, giving their mind over to heaviness. You You always gotta, like I said, it may be the reality of things, but you always have to think of the positivity through it. The Lord put me through this for a reason. The Lord got me going through it for a reason. The Lord is trying to build me, not destroy me. All right. And keeping that mindset, you will rejoice in the affliction and the hell that you're catching, because you know it's something. It means for something greater. All right. It's going to bring something greater. Okay. And that's a great way of thinking of it, man. One of the brethren was having a conversation. He was just like, man, yeah, bro, you can't, put yourself in that mindset, right? Where you allowing these thoughts to come into your head. You put yourself around that certain vibration. When you allowing these thoughts come into your head, like, for example, the music you listen to, the things you do, all these things are coming to your head by the certain vibration you put yourself around, man. All right. But when you comfort yourself with the scriptures, man, you easily let those things go. It says, to go on, it says, the gladness of the heart is the life of a man. The joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. Love thy own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein. So remove that sorrow from you, man. All right, because sorrow has killed many. All right. Having, it's a demon, really, man. All right, that depressed spirit, the countenance is saddened all the time. You're always going through certain things in your mind. All right, it only, Scripture says, for sorrow hath killed many. All right, but the gladness of a heart is the life of the man. So put yourself around the Lord more. Put yourself around the scriptures more. Put yourself around the brethren more. And you ultimately start to see yourself to smile again and actually, get away from those thoughts that heavy mind. All right. It brings me to this. This is Ecclesiasticus 7. Actually, let me get that whole thing. In verse 14. It says, I want to start at verse 13. It's pretty good. It says, think about what Yahweh has done. How can anyone straighten out what Yahweh has made crooked? When things are going well for you, be glad. And when trouble comes, just remember, Yahweh sends both happiness and trouble. You never know what is going to happen next. All right? So, as the Lord, sends happiness in good times and, a spirit of gladness unto you, he also sends trouble. You never know what happens next. You never know when the Lord can put you through bad times, and you never know when he can take you out. You never know when the Lord can put you through great times, and you never know when the Lord can bring you down. All right. But just understand that the Lord can do that. He can bring you from bad to good for bad. All right. And you just got to have faith that the Lord is going to be able to come through. The Lord is going to heal your heart, heal your mind. Prophets before us have been through these same things, man. All right. The prophets before us, the men of the Lord before us, but they were not confounded. All right. The Lord, did not confound them. The Lord allowed them to come back, or allowed them to, a comeback. The Lord allowed them to have a comeback through the Spirit. And that's how it is for all of us. We're going to have a comeback through the Spirit, man. Being redeemed. All right? The Lord's going to redeem you. And you're going to understand what the Lord has been doing that whole time, that whole period of you catching hell. You're going to understand it. You're going to be like, okay, this is what the Lord was trying to show me. This is what the Lord was trying to do. All right? I'm going to bring out this last scripture and I'm going to close out here. It says, Ecclesiasticus 4 and verse 3, it says, add not more trouble to a heart that is vexed, and defer not to give to him that is in need. All right? So add not more trouble to a heart that is vexed. Your heart is already vexed, man. All right, that also goes for your neighbor as well, your brethren. All right, don't add, more trouble into a vexed heart already. All right? So how much more when you to yourself? When your heart is already vexed. All you're doing is adding more trouble into it, with giving your mind over to heaviness, giving your mind over to, that doubt, those demons. All right? Stop allowing these demons to control your mind, bro. All right? Stop allowing Satan to get in your mind. Rebuke him in the name of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? And you will be freed from it. All right? Jake just be sitting there and soaking up in doubt and sorrowfulness. All right? In the dark, nah, man, you got to get up. Do what the Lord required of you. And change your life around through the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Don't sit there and just add more to it, man. All right? So, hey, man, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect and the ones listening in. I just want to get into a quick, lesson on that. Just meditating in the spirit on it. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Kakadash. The bonus elders and apostles, great millstone, who teach them well.